Less than 5 miles separates Seattle University from the University of Washington. Seattle U at 12th and Cherry, and here University of Washington in the Montlake neighborhood. Yet it's been 29 years since Seattle U and Washington have played men's basketball head-to-head. In fact, it has been since the late 70s since these two teams have gotten together, and tonight the Huskies and the Red Hawks will once again renew their acquaintance. Hi, everybody. Along with Lenny Wilkins, I'm Kevin Calabro. Yeah, not since 1979 when Lorenzo Romar was the team captain for this University of Washington team has Seattle U and Washington hooked up, and finally they get together, Lenny.
Yeah, I tell you, 79, a great year. Can never forget that year winning a championship. But history says that the first meeting, 1953, the last time they met, January 29, 1980, big separation between those times.
They've met 23 times in the past, and of course the Chieftains, now the Red Hawks, the last win back in 1978 for Seattle U. Washington has had a marvelous year this year. They are at least the co-champions of the Pac-10, pending the outcome of their game against Washington State coming up this weekend. And Lenny, they have done it with a workmanlike effort from their senior, John Brockman.
John Brockman has been fantastic, Kevin. I'll tell you, the big guy shows he's got great quickness. He anticipates, gets out on the break, and when he seals you, there's no one that's going to stop him getting to the basket. He has also shown that he has great hands. Right there, he controls it, put back on the basket. What a marvelous season this young man is having.
And took two pretty good big guys to task in Arizona and Arizona State, and had double-doubles in both of those ball games, averaging 20 and 11, shooting 61%, and named the Pac-10 Player of the Year.
Well, those are two big games that they won, Arizona and Arizona State. So I say that they got to be ready tonight, because if not, Seattle U, they're hungry.
They are hungry. They have nothing to lose. Washington, meantime, of course, cannot look forward to the Cougars in that very important game this weekend. Seattle U's Joe Calero, the head coach, said that he would play every zone known to man against Washington, trying to slow this game down.
Well, he has to, because Austin Powers, who is playing very well for him, is going to have his hands full. Austin's going to have to meet Brockman and try and keep him from getting to the block, and therefore the defenses are going to have to help.
Michael Boxley, Austin Powers. It was Boxley, this man right here, who had the game-winning shot with 12 seconds to go, coming off their last win against South Dakota in South Dakota.
That gives you a lot of confidence. He's feeling pretty good. He believes that he can make that three-point shot. So look for the Chieftains to put up a few threes tonight.
Joe Calero's ball club's won 11 of the last 12. He says, we will go anywhere, anytime to play anybody. We want to let the world know that we are here, we are back, and of course this is quite a statement game here tonight. The fact that they're in this building to take on the Huskies. We've got the tip for you in just a moment, right here on FSN. Welcome back, everybody, along with the Hall of Famer Lenny Wilkins, Kevin Calabro, here inside at Bank America Arena in Seattle, where the University of Washington Huskies are about to take on Seattle U, a renewal of this great rivalry, the 24th meeting all time between two universities that are separated geographically by about 5 miles. That's just a couple of neighborhoods downtown Seattle. Joe Calero is as good a proponent for this university as they have ever had in his 8th season as the Red Hawks head coach. A record of 114 up, 104 down, and having a very good year this year. Calero's a guy who wakes up seeing the sunny side of everything. 19-7 his ball club this year.
He's a very upbeat guy, Kevin. He's very positive. He has learned over the years that I can get your attention by talking directly to you, being positive, and showing you how I want it done. So I think he's done an excellent job. You look at the other end, Lorenzo Romar. Hey, let me tell you something. I think he should be in the running for Coach of the Year, because he's done a nice job. You look at this team at the beginning of the season, Kevin, and I didn't think they would be here.
No. There are a lot of people who didn't think they would be here. Lorenzo probably thought they had a pretty good shot with some good people coming back, namely John Brockman. Justin Detman has had a magnificent year this year. Quincy Pondexter coming back as the junior. Take a look at the lineup for the Huskies. Detman and Thomas. Thomas, the new addition, the freshman. Darnell Gant, the workman-like center. Quincy Pondexter and John Brockman playing that power forward. Chris Guelph up front for the Redhawks, and this game is underway. Our officials this evening are Andy Burkhardt, Tom Wood, and Mark Beasley. And Gant is double teamed. Already the Redhawks open up in a zone.
Well, they want to play that zone. They want to protect, not give you easy opportunities, take the middle away, and force the Huskies to look for open shots on the outside to start with and not inside.
Michael Boxley got a piece of that, deflects it out of bounds. Boxley from Mount Terrace High School. He defends the inbounds pass as they work it outside to Thomas.
You know, the difficult thing about playing the zone, it's always tough to rebound in the zone because you're playing areas, you know, and you're not boxing anyone out. The Huskies start out by getting the first rebound. I would think that they'll get a whole lot more.
Great feed inside from Devin. Low entry pass to Brockman. He turns and powers up, and it's 2-0 Washington.
Well, you can't let Brockman get that kind of position. Hey, let me tell you, they're not going to stop him if he can turn into the basket like that.
And Michael Wright, who is 6'5", 225, from Lakewood, Washington, will have the unenviable task of not only guarding Brockman, but trying to get away from him here on the offensive end. And Seattle U has to call a timeout as Chris Guelph got locked up, and everybody else off the ball was tightly covered.
Well, they really were, and that's what the Huskies are going to do. They're going to pressure you, and that's smart. I think make the other team as uncomfortable as possible. Don't let them get in the comfort zone.
Calero told us before the ball game, we'll call timeouts at sometimes you wouldn't think appropriate because we have got to slow this game down and control the tempo as much as we possibly can. This isn't a team that scores a lot of points.
No, it isn't, but take a look right here. They swing the ball around, and he's going to make a great bounce pass inside as Brockman seals his man. He seals Powers. Powers can do nothing but look.
John Brockman just keeps working, and working. He knows if he's not having a good scoring game, he can rebound, play defense, and of course create a little havoc in the paint. Here's a kick-out pass, nice pass inside of Boxley, taken away from him, off the window by Pondexter, leading to the run-out for Isaiah. Thomas trying to flick it outside, but Seattle closes fast on him. Good defensive play. Outlet pass right. This is Boxley juggling it on the end line. Drops it low to Austin Powers. He's 6'8", remember, has nice touch. Look at the turnaround hook up and in to tie it at 2-2.
Well, you let him get down on the low block and make that turn. That's his strength right there, where he turns and flips up the little hook shot. Great play there, but also it was a great play prior to that by Pondexter, my X-Factor. He came and made a great block.
Powers, the senior from Glendale, doubles with Boxley and Gant, and his pass to Brockman denied and tipped away out of bounds.
Right here, you're going to see, right there, Powers gets that ball on the baseline. They're not really pressuring him that much. He makes the little turn and scores. That's a nice little shot for Powers.
Redhawks sag in the middle. Of course, Brockman going over to Gant, who doesn't ordinarily shoot the mid-range shot. Got that one away, rims in and out. And in fighting for the rebound, deflected by the Redhawks out of bounds.
Okay, here's our X-Factor. Watch him come and give great help. I mean, that's a beautiful block. He just pins it right to the board, and the Huskies get out and run.
Denton receives the inbounds, and again the Redhawks back the paint. Anticipating Brockman, he misses two, grabs his rebound, dumps it outside. Denton fakes the three, drives, slants in. Rebound recovered by Gant, tips it to Denton. Great pass inside, Brockman ready, hands, turns, and feathers it in.
Well, you gotta like the way the Huskies are playing because they're staying after it. You know they're gonna out-rebound the Redhawks. So if they pass that ball around and get it inside, no one's going to stop Brockman.
Now Washington extends the defense. This is Gant on Austin Powers. Taking over is a little point guard, Sean Burrow. Back to Powers for three. He can do this. Not this time. Tipped by Boxley across the window and recovered in there by Chris Guelph. Drops it to Michael Wright for the turnaround hopper. And we've got a tie game at 4-4.
Well, like I said, the Redhawks have nothing to lose. I can remember being a young player and playing St. John's in New York at Madison Square Garden. You get pumped up. The Redhawks are going to be pumped up for this game.
Taking the train up from Providence to the Garden to take out St. John's. Here's Thomas outside to Pondexter for three. Nope. And a rebound recovered by Boxley. Joe Calero says we have traveled over 4,000 air miles, and he's lost track of how many miles they covered by bus in playing the competition this year. Thomas pulls down Burrow, comes away from the screen, but he missed it. He had the pick, but missed the lane. Seattle U comes the other way.
Seattle U just dodged the bullet there because they get the ball, they get out, get a chance to run. But Isaiah, he's going to stay up and keep pressure. If you don't take care of the ball, he, Dentman, and Winoy comes in, all those guys will stay up. Look at the pressure right there. Forces a turnover, and now he's got clear sailing, and he probably should have laid it off the board.
And as you can see, just hauled down Burrow by the jersey. Very physical game already. Seattle U will trap now at the elbow. They'll come out of that. Now that they've got a 1-3-1 just as Oregon State likes to play. And that gave Washington a lot of trouble the first time the two teams played down at Corvallis. They had a difficult time in the first half for that 1-3-1. And this time Washington will turn the basketball over on a 3-second call.
Yeah, Brockman was caught looking that time because Seattle U is trapping, double teaming. They're going to make you make the extra pass.
Good game here early. Score tied 4-4. With 15:58 remaining in the first half. As promised, Seattle U has come out with a variety of zones, and we've already seen the 2-1-2. We have seen the 1-3-1. Offensively, Washington extends their defense.
Well,
Washington got a piece of that.
Yeah, Washington's going to do a good job. They're going to come out and put some pressure on Seattle U. Make them handle that ball. Make them move around more than they want to.
Elston Turner in the lineup for Washington, along with Roy Overton and Matthew Bryan Ammon. And it's Overton with the pick to slide to the glass and lay it up and in. And that's what Roy Overton has given his ball club all year, Lenny, that pressure defense.
Yeah, he comes off the bench. He's ready. He's playing the passing lane. He sees the floor extremely well, and that allows him to make a lot of good steals.
Swift enters the ball here to Austin Powers. The turn, backing in Matthew Bryan Ammon. This is Brockman with the recovery. Overton on the push, and Elston with the three in transition. Nope. Michael Wright digs it. Nice pass, cross court on the bounce. Boxley will take it. Gets his left shot. At the rim, Matthew Bryan Ammon. So one and done again for Seattle U. Washington obviously has a decided height advantage up front. Bryan Ammon at 6'9" with a long arm. Brockman listed at 6'8", more like that 6'6" foot inside about 240. And he spins. Boxley anticipates, rips the ball, but a foul call on Boxley. And it sends John Brockman to the line.
Well, that time they were in kind of a matchup zone. And when you're in a matchup zone, you almost wind up with man-to-man. And if you wind up man-to-man with Brockman or low block, you're going to have your work cut out for you.
Brockman has recorded double-doubles in 4 of the last 5 games, including the 2 big ones against Arizona and Arizona State. Very established big men. And, of course, with a win this weekend against Washington State, the Huskies will clinch all by themselves the Pac-10 title. They have clinched the title, but could be the co-owners of that title should they lose against the Tigers. And should UCLA at home this weekend beat both Oregon and Oregon State.
Well, you can't say enough about Brockman's improvement. I'll tell you, you look at his free throw shooting this year compared to what it's been in the past, and he's really focused and concentrating on making those shots.
Brockman recovers the rebound and a long Powers miss. Overton on the push. In a front court, enters quickly to Bryan Ammon. Has space. Turner right into the trap, threw it away, deflected, and it is recovered by Burrow. Burrow, good-looking athlete. Long, lanky. Outside they go to the lefty, raising for the three. That is in and out. That offering from Drew Harris. Seattle, you need a timeout as the Huskies, following that timeout, got an adjustment. For one thing, Lorenzo Romar sent in 3 guys off the bench, Lenny. They got the message quickly. They lead 10-4.
They really did, because he wants them to keep the pressure out there. Right here, you're going to see Overton gets the ball. He looks up ahead. He makes a great pass. Brockman shows he has good hands. He makes a great catch on that.
Brockman 8.6 boards already.
Yeah, and here again you get to see a good look. I mean, that's great control for a big guy, running, catching the ball, and then have the presence of mind, knowing where he is to lay it in.
Brockman said it's just now starting to settle on him. That he's closing in on the close of his career here at the University of Washington. What a career it has been. Look at him, he's 4th in scoring, just a few points behind Todd McCullough. Bob Hubriggs, Chris Velp, 1, 2, 3. He's already the all-time leader in rebounds for the University of Washington, averaging this year better than 11 per ball game. Michael Wright handling it up top. Nice little back cut. Again, the Huskies recovered defensively, but Powers has the second offering, and he'll lay it up and in.
Well, the Huskies gave good help then, and the Seattle U recovered it, and they got on the boards, got a second opportunity there. And
the Huskies can't get possession as Brockman had to go off the fingertips. Seattle U will take it. Substitution for the Huskies. Justin Holiday will step in.
Well, both teams are going to go to their bench. You know, they're not going to wait around. They're going to use their bench, try and get different looks out there. And for Seattle U, it's a scramble. They're going to try and scramble up and down, get you to have mismatches, see if they can get some easy opportunities.
Aaron Broussard is number 2 for the Redhawks. Powers is the man in the row. Substitution in the lineup. Lee Swanson from Montlake Terrace, 6'7", 210 senior, coming back after an injury. Justin Holiday, known as the fireman. And Swanson, his counterpart, Joe Calero, said, we'll miss his defense, we'll need him. And then Luke at 6'7" inside, if we have any chance.
You know, Holiday and Overton, they really bring defense off the bench. Long arms, quickness, and they look to the pressure.
Little French pastry, baby.
Yeah.
Going around the world, finishing lefty with the reverse. Isaiah Thomas, I love watching him. Don't you? I mean,
he's no fear in him. You know, you get out on the break, and look at this play by Holiday. They're starting to feel it right now. Seattle U may have to call another timeout to stop this.
Holiday looking off the defender and laying it in. Powers holding. What's been most impressive is the Husky defense. That's, no sooner do I brag on the defense than there's the first drive of the game. Chris Weth getting into a crackling and up to a one-line count. They say he's fouled out on the floor.
Right here, good defense. Get the ball out. Thomas is out front on the break, and he takes it to the other side of the basket where he knows no one can come and help, lays it off the board. That's a nice play, and that's being real smart on Isaiah Thomas's part.
461 points this season, ties University of Washington freshman record. With one more point, he would surpass Spencer Hawes. And his name in the record book.
I think that's going to happen.
I think it may happen here in the next 15 seconds. Broussard goes to work. Good little bit out of there, then Pondexter gets all over. Redhawks shooting 3 of 14 here in the early going. Broussard misses the hook. Ryan Ammoning the rebound. Up ahead to Holiday. Pondexter, middle of the zone, flicks out to Thomas. Good movement of the ball, quick movement of the ball. Holiday, some of the punch to Pondexter. Hawks may have gotten a piece of that. They come the other way. Nice spirited drive in through traffic. Sean Burrell from Berkeley, California, 5th-year senior, got hammered. He'll step up for 2 when we come back after the timeout. 11:31 remaining here in the first. The Huskies have awakened, and they have taken an 8-point lead over Seattle University, 14-6. Nearly halfway through the first half, Washington leading Seattle U 14-6, along with the Hall of Famer Lenny Wilkens, Kevin Calabro here. The Red Hawk is in attendance as well. D1 basketball is back at Seattle U after a period of, well, a long time, 1980 to present day. Game recap. Red Hawks at 3 of 15 and the Huskies 6 of 16. 14-7 rebounding edge held by the Huskies and a 12-2 point in the paint advantage. We mentioned during our introduction to the broadcast that the last time the two clubs met was 1979 when Lorenzo Romo was the team captain of this Husky basketball team. And then they went off into the wilds of the NAIA at Seattle U. For Washington, a bit of history. Their first Pac-10 since 1953 when the conference was known as the PCC. That was the year they went to the Final Four. They beat LSU and Bob Pettit. I know, I got a big fan of Bob Pettit here in the booth. Former teammate of yours.
That's right. He was one of the great all-time players. I'll tell you, he really made the St. Louis Hawks back in those years.
One of the top 50 all-time in the history of the NBA. Here's Overton with it now. Matthew Bryant having a great cut right under that zone. And Holiday to receive it and lay it in.
Well, I tell you, you got to like the intensity that the Huskies are playing with. Lorenzo's got their attention because what they're doing is they're coming out, they're pressuring, they're pushing the ball up the court, they're defending, and also they're moving it against the zone. They're not trying to do it all by themselves.
Swanson all alone, missed it. And the rebound hauled down by Michael Wright. Wright doubled. It's up to Swanson and go to work. Nice little up and under move. The lefty though, left it short. Holiday the rebound. There's Thomas with him. Still on Dexter. Overthrown. Deflected away off Seattle hands, and it'll be Washington basketball.
Well, you got to pass the ball against the zone, and if you do, good things happen. Right here, they swing the ball around, go to the top, great area to pass the ball, great cut underneath, and they get a score. So, you know, you got to move it against the zone.
Holiday comes out immediately. Cameron Dollar is talking to him about fast break, Lenny. It's good coaching as Cameron, and then Jim Shaw will talk to him a little bit too about how that was set up because he had Thomas on his left side.
Yes. Kick the ball to the wing, up ahead, and usually what happens, the defense shifts, it'll come right back to you. That's good coaching. That's what you want. You want when your players to come out of the game, someone is telling them what's going on, what happened.
Just a fine player. You know, he's a selfless player, and each one of his teammates are selfless players. That's why Washington has gotten to where they are. They're good kids, good young men.
They really are, and you know, the coaching staff does a great job. They keep the players involved, they talk to them. These players respect one another.
Brockman steps up at the line, and that free throw line has been a problem for the Huskies. Well, in the first half of the season, it was a real issue. Second half, they started to iron that out, and it was a lot attributed to coaching and the repetitive nature of their drills, the ladder drill. You probably know that story by now. Missed that little hook shot. The ball deflected out of bounds. The Huskies now shooting 69% as a team for the year. Not great, but sure better than it was in the first half of the season. And in conference, shooting 73% at the line.
And it'll get better as the season comes down to the end. And by the time they start to go into the Pac-10 tournament and also the NC2A, hopefully their free throw shooting will improve tremendously.
Husky set up and going to take that zone by flicking it inside of Brockman, who had backed Michael Wright all the way to the cup.
I'll tell you, you get that kind of position, I can score there. I'm just teasing, but you let a guy like Brockman get that close to the basket where it's just a flip, he's going to make that. He's too good.
I believe he could score from that. Twisting into the lane. The Red Hawks drew Harris. Harris is fouled. Well, a moment ago, Austin Powers put a bone-jarring screen on Thomas, knocking him to the deck.
Well, the Huskies are just going to be too tough in the paint for Seattle U. I mean, you know, you're going to have to double-team trap way ahead of time. You can't play behind a guy like Brockman. He's going to get too many opportunities. And if the Huskies continue to pass the ball, they'll get back cuts. You move the ball around the top to the foul line, and then the wings cut in like they do, they're going to get some easy opportunities. So I think the Huskies are playing very smart. They're not taking this team for granted.
Drew Harris from Eastern Mountains, Yakima, Washington, Eisenhower High School, sophomore. 6-footer, splits a pair of free throws, 20-8. Washington on top. Oxley outside on Thomas. Pinch out Canton at the sideline, but he throws a skip pass outside. Huskies have 18 to shoot. too far out in front of Boxley and out of bounds.
Well, Boxley stopped to try and receive that pass. He should have kept just going. It was a long pass. If he had kept going, he'd had a layup.
Thomas just a bucket away for the season. Shot the lights out for 3-point lead this year. Knocks down another one, and he adds to the resume.
Now, you don't cover him in his zone. Washington is on a 13-2 run. They'll be on a 20-2 run if you lay that guy wide open.
That was cold-blooded, 43% from three. Meantime, the Redhawks offering from Chris Webb sails wide. 15 to shoot. Redhawks get it back. Michael Wright gets into the air. He got jostled. Ball stripped out of bounds, and it will be awarded to Seattle U.
Here's what passing around does, because the zone is shifting. It's playing areas. It's not playing a man. And when you have a shooter like Detman, that's what's going to happen.
Detman and Thomas share the scoring honors for the Husky. 0.2 of 1 point separate the two. Thomas 15.8, Detman 15.6, just past Nate Robinson for fifth most in the school history with 128 career three-point field goals made. And boy, is Nate Robinson having a great second half of the season. He had a monster game shortly before the All-Star break. Then, of course, he became kryptonite, as you know.
Right.
That's his history, man. He's been sensational.
I'll tell you, he really has been. He's letting everybody know it, too.
In fact, I read today that the NBA and DC Comics are trying to work an arrangement out so that they can market the Kryptonite T-shirts coming to a team store near you. Seattle U will bring it in bounds. It's a 34 to shoot.
Yeah, and they have not made a field goal in the last 15 minutes. They need to do that, because if not, the Huskies are going to run away with this game in the first half.
Pondexter the other way lays it in easily. Redhawks 3 of 21 shooting. Washington is 10 for 22.
I give a lot of credit to the Huskies defense, Kevin. Look at this. I mean, they're out there pressing, trapping. You know, they're not giving them any easy opportunities.
Powers has to reach over his own man, Chris Webb, to get it. Finds Boxley for three. So Michael Boxley gets him on the board. 25-11 to count. Huskies on top. Thomas the other way to the rim. Laid it up and it rolls in. Isaiah Thomas now is the all-time leader in Washington history for a freshman in points scored.
Well, you gotta love the way he took the ball, because the defense is running back. They turn their back on you. A smart guard like Isaiah Thomas is going to run right up your back, take it to the basket. Nice play by Isaiah Thomas.
Harris gets in the middle, kicks it outside. Michael Wright will drive and kick, but Brockman plays the passing lane, has a steal out ahead to Thomas, races to the glass, and is shoved by Gueth, and then grabs Gueth's jersey, I think just trying to arrest himself, because he was spinning wildly down there, headed toward the goal stance, and then they both kind of tumble into the crowd. They're all right. And Thomas, fouled by Gueth, will head to the line here in a moment. A timeout called on the floor.
Well, right there, you're going to see they got their backs turned, and he just takes it to the basket. He makes it look simple, but only a great player can do that.
Huskies on top of Seattle University, 27-11. 7 minutes left here in the first half, and Isaiah Thomas just became the all-time leader in freshman scoring in University of Washington history. And he has done it with a variety of explosive drives into the lane. The diminutive left-hander from Curtis High School down in Tacoma. Most notable candidate for the Pac-10 Freshman of the Year. Klay Thompson having a very good year as well, east of the mountains at Washington State University. Thomas seeing 28 minutes a game, leading this Husky team in scoring, Lenny, and he is 5th among all players in scoring in league games, and is the Pac-10's top freshman scorer overall.
Yeah, you got two notable candidates there. Klay Thompson is playing very well also, but I think it comes down to who is making their team better. You know, which team is really stepping up and doing the job. And right now, you got to say that the edge has to go to Isaiah Thomas at this point in time.
Most notably, the year that Justin Detman has had, a direct result of the play of Isaiah Thomas. No question, you've got a guy that can streak, get into the rim, drive, and kick the way he can. If you're Detman, who's worked tirelessly with that jump shot of the offseason. It's great to see a guy who can drive and kick like that. He knows you're on the wing, and he'll find you.
Yeah. Anytime you got a guard that can really penetrate like that, you make yourself available. You slide down into his vision because you know he'll give it up to you. So Detman is having a great year, and he can attribute some of that to Isaiah Thomas.
Well, you get on that guy's calendar. Got an opening? I'm there. Sean Burrow with it. Austin Powers, Boxley, Wright, and Broussard for Seattle U. This is Aaron Broussard with it. Huskies defense is they're just everywhere. Overton nearly out of pick. Wright gives to Powers trying to back in. Can't. Overton nearly got that one. 4 to shoot. Powers recovers. Right back up and in. And they say charged.
That's what good pressure defense will do for you because you confuse the other team. They're trying to see the clock. They can't see anything. Shot has to go up. And right here, they anticipate right there. Good position defense and has nowhere to go. Tough call, but it's the right call.
Fallon Powers is first. 17-point Husky lead. Scott Suggs in the lineup now. Good-looking freshman. Near St. Louis, Missouri. And he threw that pass right into the hands of Broussard, who will take it right at Suggs. Foul call on Overton, trying to get a piece of that.
I'll tell you, the Huskies defense is making a huge difference because, you know, they're putting so much pressure on Seattle U that they're only shooting like 4 for 23 or 24. And Seattle U, they both got 4 steals. So they're both anticipating well. But the Huskies defense has the edge because they're really making it happen. They're making these guys, I mean, 4 for 23, you know, huge percentage that it's going the opposite way.
College Hoops returns Thursday with a Pac-10 showdown as the Cal Golden Bears take on the Arizona Wildcats. Both teams looking to gain some momentum before the Pac-10 tournament. Coverage begins Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on FSN and high definition on FSN HD. That is a big game for the Arizona Wildcats, who are by every account one of those 4 to 5 bubble teams in the United States. College basketball, over 300 D1 programs. College basketball, all of them. Well, not all, but some looking to go on to the postseason. Arizona certainly is one of the bubble teams. Pac-10 had 6 teams last year participating. Arizona were to make it, it would be 5 by all accounting by those that keep track and do the bracketology. Take a look at the Pac-10 standings. You have UW, UCLA, Arizona State, Cal, and Arizona. Realistically, there would be 5 teams looking toward the tournament, the NCAA tournament, with, again, Arizona being the bubble team at 8-8 in the conference. 6. Now, UCLA's got to play the Oregon schools in Los Angeles, while the Huskies have 1 game left, and that, of course, is against Washington State here in Seattle.
That becomes a huge game because they take that game, then they got the Pac-10 wrapped up. And who knows what's going to happen so far as, you know, the Pac-10 tournament, the seeding, all that kind of stuff.
Broussard is hammered trying to get to the rim, and he'll step back up to the line. 28-12 the count. 5:08 to go here in this first half. Foul on Matthew Brian Allen. That is his first. Broussard averaging 6 points, 4 rebounds, and seeing about 15 minutes in the contest. Broussard has played in all 26 games this year. He is a freshman, so he will be certainly counted upon in the next few years to bolster this program. He is from Federal Way High School. That's what Joe Calero will have to do, is recruit here from the area. As we know, this area is rich in basketball talent coming out of high schools. It's just a matter of keeping them around here.
Yeah, and I think when you have programs like this, like, you know, Gonzaga, like Washington State, you know, like the Huskies, and then now Seattle U, they're going to keep some of those players here.
Gonzaga 14-0 in the West Coast Conference. They'll go to their tournament play. There's a lot of talk about Seattle U possibly joining the WCC. They have to first be invited. They have not yet been invited. Then Joe Calero was telling us that they also are developing a men's baseball program at Seattle U with some other programs as well, golf being another one. And they would like to, when they go to a conference, and it wouldn't necessarily be the WCC, but when they go to the conference, they obviously want to play more than men's basketball, more than one sport at conference.
Exactly, Kevin. They want to see that you have a full program, whether it's tennis, volleyball, baseball, soccer. You have to show that. You show that, then they want to invite you because now they can set up a great program.
Well, the road back to Division I for Seattle this season. They have been allowed to play a mix of Division I and non-Division I opponents. They would not be eligible for the NCAA tournament this year. They would be eligible, however, for the NIT and 2 other postseason tournaments. Next season, they will be required to play a full Division I schedule. They'll be eligible for NCAA postseason in the year 2012 and 13 academic year.
Well, I'd like to see them get in one of those tournaments and do well, because I think they've had a pretty good year, considering first time back and all that time.
Overton will bring it in bounds to Bundy. Double pumps and missed it. And the rebound recovered by Seattle U. Well, they could play that CBI tournament or the CollegeInsiders.com tournament. There's the ball deflected. Pondexter and oh my! You just hate to see that. As Pondexter goes up for the alley-oop and crashes over Chris Gueth.
This is what coaches worry about all the time, especially when you have a game like this and you know you got a big one coming up. You don't want to see anyone get hurt. And a great pass, you know. Hopefully, you know, I think he might have sprained his wrist a little bit because you see he tried to get his hands out in front of him, so hopefully he did.
And so Quincy Down just took a horrific fall there, and as Lenny mentioned, it appeared that he reached out. We're going to replay obviously here in moments, but it appeared he reached out with the left arm to cushion the fall and then crashed to the floor, and there is just a hush over this crowd here at Bank America. Pondexter having a very good year this year. The junior, a very likable young man, and Chris Gueth obviously got into position there. Pondexter went high into the air to get the alley-oop and then crashed to the floor, falling over Gueth.
Here you get a chance to get a good look at this. He goes up, makes the play, and he's fallen over the man. And yeah, he kind of gets his right shoulder down there. So I'm hoping, you know, that he's going to be fine.
Yeah, looking at that, you just hope the shoulder hasn't been separated.
Right.
Well, obviously, wish for the best as they attend to him down there. That is the athletic trainer, Pat Jenkins. Taking a look at Q. And so Pondexter will walk off the floor under his own power. But again, the right shoulder is probably what will be examined as they take him back to the locker room. So Suggs will step in for Matthew Bryant Avening, Darnell Gann, Justin Detman, and Benoit Overton. Seattle U up the floor. They've made just one field goal in the last 9:19. They're 1-13 in that stretch. And the Husky defense continues to persist, and they force another turnover on Seattle U. That is their 9th of the game.
Well, that's great defense, and the nice thing about it is even the guys coming off the bench are bringing that defensive intensity with them. So they're going to keep the pressure up all game. This will bode well for them, especially when they get into tournament time.
Seattle U back in the zone, trying to match up to Overton on the wing, finds some space and drills the three. 33-13, 20-point Husky lead, 3:40 to go, first half. Eric Broussard look there by Gleff. Bentman outside for three. Rebound to Fletcher. Gleff trying to pick it up off the floor. Austin Powers is there. Look out, Michael Wright handling it on the open floor, and Bentman just picks his pocket.
That's good defense. A guy is running down the floor, not paying attention, just come right up behind him and take it away.
Fifth steal for the Huskies. Darnell Gadd, good looking turnaround hopper by the freshman from Crenshaw High School, redshirted last year, and he has been a big part of the Husky success this year. Overton stops play with a foul. And a timeout called with 2:46 left in the first half. This is what many people expected it would be. Huskies up 20 with 2:46 left in the half. Huskies up by 20 on the Red Hawks. 2:46 left here in the first half of play. This date in history. 1966, Seattle U defeated Texas Western 74-72. The only loss that year for the Miners of Texas Western. Texas Western, the first team with an all-black starting lineup to win the NCAA's, beat Adolph Rupp in the Kentucky Bluegrass State. Pat Riley on that team. That Kentucky team.
Pat Riley, Tommy Cron. You remember Tommy Cron? Played here for the Sonics for a little bit.
Crash Cron.
Yeah.
Don Haskins, of course, the coach of that Texas Western Ball Club, just passed away a year or so ago. And that is now UTEP, University of Texas, El Paso.
They had a player on that team, Big Daddy Latin.
Yes.
You remember?
Yep. Well, they did a movie, obviously.
Yeah.
Glory Road, the name of that movie. Great movie. If you've not seen that, you love sports, you love sports movies, it's a good one. The story of that team, the way they came together. Steve Swanson flips it up and in. Against all odds. Beating a Kentucky team that many people said wasn't that good a team anyway. Not to diminish what they did, but it wasn't one of the better Kentucky teams.
No, they were decent. They executed well, but they were slow. Okay, they didn't have any quickness. and really, and that's why Texas Western was able to stay with them.
Huskies Quincy Pondexter, if you're just joining us, was taken back to the locker room. He was on his own 2 feet. He was involved in a horrendous crash. He went up to redirect the ball near the rim, was way up, fully extended, and came crashing down off Chris Gleff, who really had nowhere to go on the play. Gleff wasn't at all involved in that play. And Pondexter landed awkwardly. It appeared on his right shoulder, so he was taken to the locker room to get some word on him from the Sports Information Office, probably Denton, tied up. And in the possession arrow, it goes to Seattle U. Take a look at this.
Yeah, he makes the pass over. Now the pass comes back. He's going up the dunk, but the player underneath right there. Boy, that's a tough landing. That's a tough landing. He's very fortunate he didn't get seriously injured.
Denton rips Powers. Fakes and drives and lays it up and in. He was about to lob one toward the rim to Brockman after the punch just tapped. Here's Thomas. Got the rip. Denton inside to Brockman, and he spins right into Gleff, who ties him up.
Now this is where the Huskies, and I'm sure Lorenzo reminded them, don't get sloppy, don't get careless. Just a minute and a half to go to the half. Let's finish the half strong.
Turner will bring it down. Denton will drop it to Brockman. He spins and had it stripped. And out of bounds, Seattle U will take it. Brockman amazed. Big John tonight has had a heck of an effort again. Brockman, the Pac-10 player of the week, 12 points and 7 rebounds. Drew Harris across midcourt. Powers will take over. Right-hander by Powers off the
Well, I like the way the Huskies look up the court. If they have a teammate up there, they're going to throw the ball up. And that's just good basketball. Good, smart basketball. Seeing the floor, getting everybody involved.
Taylor Olsen on the last out, the redhead from Blanchette High School. Thomas leans back and drills a two-pointer from mid-range.
You can't let him get to that area and not be guarding him. You know, he's just too good a player. He's showing it. He can get to the basket, he can pull up for the mid-range jumper, or he can step behind the line and make shots.
Grab handles the track well. Over to Olsen. Thomas with a rebound. Huskies slowing up with 17 seconds left in the half. 39-19. Washington leading the Redhawks. From Seattle U. About 5 miles away. 12th and Cherry. Thomas coming off the screen. Elevating for three. Isaiah Thomas.
I'll tell you, he's feeling it right now. Great way to finish the half.
We are at halftime. The Huskies 42, the Redhawks 19.
You'll see right here, he's going to take it down. He's aware of the clock. He gets them to drop back, goes up. No one really challenges him. What a great look at the basket. So, you know, that's what the Huskies do. They finish it off strong, 42-19.
That's our halftime score, and now let's send it to the College Hoops Northwest Studios. Angie Mentick and Francis Williams standing by. His right shoulder did get up on his own 2 feet and walked off with the assistance of the trainer, Lenny, but that had all the indications of maybe being a season-ending injury.
Well, it was a very scary moment, Kevin, and I've been told that he has bruised ribs. So, you know, when he tucked his arm underneath, you'll take a look as he gets out on the break here, he makes the pass, and now he's going up, and he doesn't see the guy behind him, and turning over like that, I'm sure those ribs got all twisted up. So, you know, he's back, and that's what's good. He's going to start in the second half.
There is Quincy being helped out of the arena and back into the locker room. And he's a gamer. He is going to start this second half. In fact, Lorenzo Romer is going to start his starting lineup here to begin the second half against Seattle U. 42-19. Lenny, we talked at halftime off the air about the necessity for the Huskies to end this issue here in the opening 5 minutes of the second half.
Yeah. You want to get your unit out there. You want to keep the rhythm going, the flow of the game, and now you want to put this team away so that you can make liberal substitutions and get those guys on the bench.
Open up in the zone as they have played through the entire first half. And of course, the turnover. Grant deflects this one. Joe Calero and the Redhawks bench thought maybe that should have been goaltending. Did it hit the glass first? Don't know, but Gant took it away. Here come the Huskies. Denton has it jabbed away. And trying to flick it down the floor. The Redhawks get it away. An easy bucket.
Real nice play by Isaiah Thomas because he saw Brockman in the middle there. And the big guy is not going to give up on anything. So they're going after it. So you want to put this game away soon. Let's get these guys off the floor. Take a look at this here. You see right there, great pass by Isaiah Thomas. Now they're going to get out and get the ball at the court. Brockman sees it. Now he takes off and makes a great block.
Blocking Michael Wright, and now the Redhawks bring it in bounds. Boxley out on the wing to Pearl, disrupted by Denton, had a piece. Pondexter trying to hand off. Pondexter goes to the floor. Brockman goes to the floor. Getting very physical here in the opening minute and 15 seconds as Boxley trips up Brockman. How about Pondexter? He goes to the deck after suffering bruised ribs in the first half.
Okay, I'm convinced. I'm convinced that, you know, let's get this lead up a little bit more and get everybody out.
And how do you suppose Romar's feeling all about this?
He's nervous right now.
That picture a moment ago told the story, didn't it? He was right on the edge of his seat. Chris Gwett has it stripped away. Pondexter with it. Laid it in. 12 points for Denton tonight.
Yeah, good play by Denton because what he did was he extended the ball out and used the backboard. That way he wasn't going to get knocked down. So that was smart play.
46-19 count.
46-19. That's the criteria. No, I'm only kidding.
Up 27. I mean, it's...
Well, I think that he wanted to keep the rhythm going for the game, the flow, and keep his guys out there, not let them, figure the game is over. Make them keep working.
Pondexter ahead of Brockman. Underthrown. He goes to the deck. He throws it outside here to Denton. Thomas will handle it. Denton right side to Pondexter. Now Camp will take over. Inside of Brockman. Nope. Brockman grabs it and lays it up and in.
Now the guy is relentless. I'll tell you, you gotta love what he does. I mean, he puts the ball up there, goes right back after it, gets the putback.
16 for Brockman. Right for the turnaround jumper, got it from 15 feet straight away. 3 minutes into the second half, and the Huskies on top by 27. Pondexter, Brockman, Gant, Thomas, and Denton. Start to set. Carroll has ever missed it. Pondexter tipped it up and in.
I think Pondexter's okay. I think he's all right. That's a nice tip to go in there amongst traffic and get up and tip the ball away.
How about this play? Thomas deflects it off the official. Gets it back and sets up Denton for the runner. And a timeout called by Seattle U as the Huskies now have exploded off to a 31-point lead. And the doctor said, Quincy Pondexter, get back out there. Huskies leading Seattle U 52-21. Washington ranked number 16 in the country. Having an outstanding year, John Brockman, all-time leading rebounder for the Huskies, and he is right now 4th all-time leading scorer, closing in quickly on Tom McCullough for number 3. He's done it in a variety of ways tonight.
Well, he really has. You got to give this big guy so much credit because he's inside, he's fighting on the boards, he gets putbacks, he comes out and he plays defense. And if you look at the players, the candidates, James Harden's playing pretty good, but I think Brockman is way ahead. I think you got to think about Brockman, maybe Collison, then Hill. That's the order I would have them in so far.
What have they done for their teams? Well, Brockman's been the bedrock, 15 points, better than 11 rebounds, shooting 53% from the field. And, of course, you cannot quibble at all with the results. A 22-7 record for the Huskies. 13-4 in conference, 7-1 home, 6-3 away in conference. After the timeout now, Matthew Bryant Ammoning steps in for Brockman. Thomas, Denton, Gant, and Pondexter stay on the floor. This is Broussard inside. He'll lay it up and in. And Brockman comes out only because he opened up a scratch. He's got a Strawberry on the right knee. Otherwise, I think he'd have probably come in after that timeout. With the 4 minutes gone by and a half, Gant long-range jumper got it.
If the Huskies keep playing the way they are, they're moving the ball, they're playing a great defense, they're scoring, I would say that Brockman may not get back in the game.
Powers will throw outside to Broussard. Boxley handles. Drew Harris for 3. The lefty comes right back at another lefty, Isaiah Thomas. And knocks that one down. 54-26. 15:37 to go in the second half. After Brian Ammoning turns and twitches and fouled by Austin Powers. Well, you cannot be a nervous Nelly to be a coach in big-time college basketball or certainly in the NBA. Because if you were, you wouldn't have any of your starting five in right now. When we come back, it's Who Am I? The Redhawks version in a moment here on FSN. Huskies up a whopping 28 on the Redhawks from Seattle U. 15 and a half minutes to go in the second half. Time now for Who Am I? It's an easy game to play. We simply give you some obscure question and we ask for an equally obscure answer. Who am I, the Redhawks version? Who was the last Seattle University player to play in the NBA? Ooh, this is a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I'm going to guess, can I guess? All right, I'm going to guess Juwan Oldham for the Chicago Bulls. He's coached by, oh, there he is.
There he is.
But he was playing for the Lakers, apparently, at that time. Although he did play for the Bulls, played for Doug Collins. The old madhouse on Madison. There's Juwan. Big 7-footer. Played 329 games in the NBA from 81 to 91.
Boy, 10 years. He got 10 years in. That's not bad.
Not bad at all. It was actually on that Chicago team when Michael Jordan's rookie year. So Juwan probably got some stories to tell. I love that old place there in Chicago.
Yeah,
the madhouse on Madison.
That was. I'm going to tell you some of the stories. That was a terrible place.
Fun place to watch.
Yeah.
You had to dress down in the basement. Right. Dressing room was down in the old drafty basement. Here's Harris into the lane. And a foul called as Brian Ammoning went up, and Harris took a hard spill. So the sophomore from Eisenhower High School pops right up. Dentman got a piece of him. Pondexter back out. Matthew Brian Ammoning, Darnell Gant. Overton is in now with Dentman.
Harrison he can be a decent player. He has some good quickness. He can get to the basket. You know, the big thing is that spacing on the floor, because Seattle U right now is not shooting the ball real well. That allows the Huskies just to collapse.
And Harris hits the second. Seattle University comes into this game 19 and 7. They won 11 of their last 12 ball games. They just went up to South Dakota and beat South Dakota after losing to North Dakota. You know, if you're there, you might as well play both North and South Dakota because you don't want to go back. Although they are going back in a week to play South Dakota in a mini round-robin 4-team tournament. Of course, it was 9 degrees last week when they left. It'll be a balmy 20 next week when they get there.
Well, they had good memories. They came from behind, won a big game, you know, so they're going to go back and try to do it again.
Matthew Brian Ammoning, nice pass. Some close quarters to Pondexter for the land. Harris up into the mix. Broussard with a rebound. He'll lay it in. And a 20-second timeout called on the floor. Seattle U has made their last 4 field goal attempts.
Well, I'll tell you, Quincy Pondexter, you couldn't tell that he took that kind of spill because he's still playing hard. Nice pass, then cuts to the basket and finishes strong. So he's not feeling any effects of that fall when you look at what he's doing out there on the court.
Pondexter's had a heck of a year, averaging career highs in points, rebounds, minutes, and field goal percentage. He has started every game this year. And in the last 8 games, all conference games, all crucial games, averaging 16 points and shooting 58% from the field. And even after that horrendous fall, comes back to start the second half, persists, and is still playing 5.5 minutes into this second half.
Well, I'll tell you, Kevin, he's still my X factor for the Huskies. I just think the guy has got an active, live body. He makes a lot of things happen. And, you know, he's a real asset out there on the floor.
Brian Ammoning outside of Devin, fakes Swept off his feet and knocks down the Jimmy. Good little adjustment from Detman.
Great patience on his part. Some guys would try and get the shot off and get the foul. He let him go by, stepped in his rhythm, and made a two-pointer.
Red Hawk team has beaten Eastern Washington at Eastern in overtime. They beat Loyola of Los Angeles, a member of the WCC, back at Key Arena, the game we did back on New Year's Day, as a matter of fact. Lost narrowly to a Portland ball club at Portland by 4. That's a team that beat the Huskies, remember, at the beginning of the year.
The Huskies have come a long way from that time, Kevin.
Yeah.
I remember doing that game in the studio, and I just couldn't believe how the Huskies have played. But they've matured, they've grown together. You know, they really know how to go out and defend, and they're finishing games so much better than earlier in the season.
The Englishman, Matthew Brian Ammoning, to the line from London, England. Having a very good sophomore year. In comes Elston Turner. He has, by all accounts, he's really slowed his game down this year. He always seemed to be in a rush last year. But, he's a better handle on what he is expected to do this year, and he's fit into a nice role coming off that bench. Closes out Powers, makes that a tough deal. He makes a rebound. Powers again reloads. Whereas Matthew Brian Ammoning says, get that SAT out of here. Right, it comes here to Harris. He'll drive into the lane, and a blocking foul called.
I think Ammoning has so much potential, you know, and he's slowed down a little bit this year. He has the luxury to play behind a guy like Brockman. I think next year they should expect big things from him. I think he could step up.
Also have a red shirt sitting on the bench literally here tonight. Maurice Brashears, 6'7", 255. They say he is a terrific practice player, going head-to-head with Brockman all year long. So you get a guy like that. He's running the ball club. Drives into the lane, got between defenders, nearly upended. No foul. Seattle U the other way. Chris Gweth with it. Gweth has it fanned away by Overton and out of bounds, and with 12:37 remaining here in the second half. Dead ball will allow Thomas to come back in, and Turner will retreat. 62-31. 31-point lead, 12:36 to go. And the Huskies are still in their regular rotation. Their regular substitution pattern. Left with it. And that's got to be all about rhythm, Lenny, I would think. It'll be interesting to talk to after the game. Many people at this point would yank all their start. I mean, my tendency would be to do that. From the coach's standpoint, though, Lenny, he's probably, what's he thinking? Is he thinking, well, we got to carry this momentum into this next crucial game against Washington State?
Not only the momentum, but the rotation, the rhythm of the game. You know, you don't want to lose any of that. And sometimes when you make a mass substitution, that's what happens. You know, so I can understand what coach is thinking.
Casual fan, maybe saying, well, gee, you just saw Poindexter get hurt. You suffer those injuries, but that's part of the game.
Well, you got to play, and I would say that you get down to the last 5 minutes and they got a lead like that, then you'll see everybody out of it. But this Husky team is still hustling, scrambling, diving on the floor for loose balls. Their defense has become a staple of this team this year.
Been fabulous, and they want to carry that momentum into that game against Washington State.
They never quit, never give up, get on the floor for the ball, make something good come of it.
Welcome back to Bank America in Seattle, 62-33, 16th ranked Washington leading Seattle University. The Stars are out tonight, very definitely. There's Bob Woodbricks from the 1953 Huskies who beat Seattle U in the NCAA tournament. The great venerable coach of the Huskies for so many years, Marv Harshman. Brock Huart, the great quarterback at the University of Washington. That is Carl Irvin, who played hoops at Seattle U. Clinton Richardson, who will go on to win a ring with the Philadelphia 76ers as a starting point guard. And, of course, also from Seattle U, the O'Brien twins, Eddie and Johnny O'Brien, who played so beautifully there in 51 through 53. In fact, met that Washington team in 53. Bridge and company. Benoit Overton with the pick. The dash to the lane and the lay-in. And the pressure continues out there from Washington. 64-33, 11-18 to go in the ballgame. 14 steals for Washington tonight. Harris is upended as he and Thomas collect one another.
Well, the Huskies are letting the Redmen know that they're not on the same level with them. They're saying to Seattle U, you know, okay, welcome back, but this is what you're going to get right now. So they're continuing to play the great defense. They're not giving Seattle U a chance to do anything.
Brockman the rebound. Long out at the top. Slides to the glass and slams it. Set up by John Brockman with that quick release in the outlet. He has 16 and 10 boards. Holiday with a rip. He's up and Boxley got a piece of him. I'll tell you one thing, Seattle U is a physical basketball team. They are making contact with you now.
Well, they're making contact, but, you know, the Huskies are pushing the tempo. They're making them have to retreat. So the only thing they can do then is just reach, grab, push, shove, hold. That's what they're trying to do right now. That's the only way they're even in this game. You're going to see substitutions pretty soon.
Brockman now has his 58th double-double. This quarter, 16 points, 10 boards. Pac-10 Player of the Week against the Arizona Schools, averaged 20 points, 11 rebounds, and shot 61%. Hit free throws. Here's Boxley off the screen. Michael Boxley, the setback guy. Boxley from Mount Lake Terrace High School. Sub is Mr. Basketball in the state of Missouri last year. Spinning in, double clutches, lays it in. Nifty play.
Yeah, well, they're just outclassed Seattle U tonight. There's no way Seattle could stay with this Husky team. They're just too good on both ends. Great steal by Overton. Again, keeping the pressure on, staying up, forcing Seattle U into a lot of mistakes. And here comes your guy now.
Here comes Artem Wallace into the lineup. Wallace will come to get John Brockman, and a standing O for John Brockman, Pac-10 Player of the Week. And many people, I'm sure most people here in this building, figure Brockman should be the odds-on favorite to win the Pac-10 Player of the Year. We just discussed that a moment ago. I certainly think he meets all the criteria, personal stats, and the team numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, well, if you're a Husky fan, you've got to be so proud of what John Brockman has accomplished. He's grown and matured. He's become just a terrific player.
It's interesting, as we look at this Washington team, bracketologists have got them as high as the 3rd seed in the West. I saw them 3rd seed behind North Carolina and Memphis today in the ESPN bracket. I'm kind of curious to hear what you have to say about the possibility of them making real noise in the Pac-10 tournament, or I should say in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, you know, I say that. I think so because of their defense. I think their defense is relentless. I mean, they can pressure you up the court. They can pressure you to half court. You know, they'll go to traps. The big guy comes out, and he's a part of the trapping process, which makes it harder for the other teams to throw over the top of him. So, yeah, I say their defense is going to be a big factor for them.
You see, under Lorenzo Romar, the 2 Sweet 16s in 05 and 06 had to retool and tweak it, and boy, did they come back with a vengeance this year, headed toward the tournament. They've got just so many weapons, and Thomas and Dustin. Here's inside, double clutching, and lays it up and in. The big man from Toledo, Washington, who was rehabbing that right knee, a horrendous knee injury in the last game of the year last year. So a very good summer of work just to get back where he can get out on the floor.
Well, we talk about the Huskies getting past that first round. Other than Brockman, the two guys who I feel really make a difference on this team, Isaiah Thomas, because of his ability to penetrate, get into the middle, and Getman. The way Getman has matured and played, he certainly can make the outside shot. He knows how to spread the floor.
Wallace goes in up and under. And should the Huskies be ranked after he lives, I mean, a very good possibility they will be. They would play down in Portland in the opening rounds, and you can bet there's going to be a lot of Portland.
Yeah, well, no question about it. And we were talking about these guys, but I don't want to leave out the X Factor. The X Factor, Pondexter certainly is going to make his presence felt.
Yeah, that tournament game would be played at the Rose Garden in Portland. So you'd have better than, 17,000 down there. A lot of folks in the seats. And many of them wearing purple. As Artem Wallace, give me a little touch here. Why not? Been working hard to get back. For Lenny Wilkens, Kevin Calabro, 70-42 count, 7:59 left here in the second half. All right, it's time now for some trivia. Name the only team other than UCLA, Arizona, or Stanford to win an outright Pac-10 title since 81-82. Wow. Only team other than UCLA, Arizona, or Stanford to win an outright Pac-10 title since 81-82. Outright title. Well, we know it's not Washington. So now we're down to 6. I'm going to guess, because they're in the vicinity, the Cougars. Oregon Ducks.
Oregon Ducks.
Boy, did they have a tough year this year. Foxley lays it up and in. Okay, that's Luke Rednauer's group. Fred Jones played in the NBA. Will Jackson was the first-round draft choice. Just didn't work out for him after an injury. Drafted by Cleveland. He ended up in Cleveland. That was his first stop. That's a pretty good unit right there. Luke Rednauer had a very good year this year. Continues to have a good year. Milwaukee's clinging to that 8th seed in the East. Good to see Luke flourish.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. You know, he's a great young man. He's working hard, and that's a good change. He needed a change, and that's working out well for him. And Seattle U's playing a little bit better now, but you know, it's a different lineup out there. They're on like a 9-2 run, but you know, Seattle, the Huskies have gone to their bench, and only player out there is Isaiah Thomas, kind of for direction.
6:51 left in this one. 70-44 the count. Thomas, a part of a very good freshman class this year. You had Drew Holiday, UCLA, the people were raving about. DeMar DeRozan at USC. We mentioned Klay Thompson at Washington State University. There were some good ones this year to replace some very good players last year. UCLA, of course, lost 3 players to the NBA with Love and Mute. And Westbrook having a terrific year this year at Oklahoma City with the Thunder. In fact, Westbrook was named the Western Conference Player of the Month for the rookie class. Thomas will get a curtain call. He comes out, as does Gant.
Well, you talk about good young players. You know, the state of Washington is very fortunate because there's some good young players coming out for next year. So hopefully we can keep a lot of them here in the state.
Well, Abdul Gaddy from down in Tacoma will be here at the University of Washington next year.
Yeah, he's committed.
6'3" guard, big mitts. Wolfinger, the 7-footer, comes down with a rebound and a miss from Turner. So you got Wolfinger, Wallace, Turner, Suggs, and Overton on the floor with 5:58 remaining in this one. 72-44 the count. The Huskies really turned their year around after they were beaten by Kansas, the defending champions, who obviously lost a number of fine people due to graduation or actually moving on into the NBA. It's a case of just sloppy play. Too many guys playing one-on-one basketball. And selfish basketball. Took him aside, but he laid down the law. And you saw him recover against Florida the next night. Although they lost the game, they played a better team game. And from that point, it just clicked for him. It's amazing how that happened.
Yeah, and you know, we give Romar the credit, like you were saying, Kevin, because he said, hey, if we're going to be a team, this is how we have to do it. We can't do it one-on-one. You may show that you got some great individual talent, but we're trying to win. And they bought into it, and that made a huge difference.
I'd like to see him play Kansas again now. Kansas, though, right now, looking at their numbers today, they're on a real streak. A big fellow, 6'11", Cole Aldrich. Averaging 15 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks. And Kansas has come back with retooled with Rod Collins, Aldrich. And ranked consistently in the top 20 in the country, ranked in the top 15 this week. College hoops, it's going to be a fun tournament this year. See those teams in the Big East. What an unbelievable year for the Big East as Swanson drives in there and scoops and scores. And this was supposed to be a down year for the Pac-10. They had 6 teams that made it in last year. We've talked about there be 5 teams with Arizona possibly on the bubble. Maybe Washington State. There's Wolfinger doing what he does best. That is shooting the 3. 7-footer who shoots the 3.
Well, do what you do.
Do what you do.
Okay. But you know, you're talking about, it is a great drive to the basket there. But you're talking early about, and I heard the talk about college hoops is going to be down, especially the Pac-10. They weren't going to be as good. But I think there was a lot of young players playing. And a third into the season, all of a sudden, things started to turn around. And teams started to play better and better and better.
They all found their identity. It's hard to lose guys like the Lopez twins and Ryan Anderson and Westbrook and Bayless, Love, Weaver, Mayo. We'll be right back with Who Am I in a moment. Been on Washington tonight with 3:53 left here in the second half. It's time now for our Washington version of. I said our Washington version of. Who am I? Who led the 84-85 Huskies in these categories? Scoring, boards, assists. I'm going to say Herr Schrempf.
I'm going to say Lorenzo Romar.
No.
No, boy, teasing.
He was playing with Purvis Short down in the Bay Area. There he is.
Yeah. Well, Detlef was a great player, and you know, for the Huskies, he came into the pro, had a great career, still lives in the area, and actually shows up at games here.
And his son playing for Bellevue High School tonight in the tournament. So Detlef not here, but he will be probably rolling in here this weekend when the Huskies take on Washington State.
Now, this has been a banner night for the Huskies when you get all 12 players scoring. The coach feels good. Everybody goes in the locker room, feels good because they feel like they participated in the game.
And when they win on Saturday, they clinch the Pac-10 all by themselves. They are guaranteed no worse than sharing the Pac-10 title, but 2 things have to happen. 3 things, actually. UCLA's got to beat both Oregon schools in Los Angeles, and the Huskies would have to lose against Washington State. Overton drives and kicks. Huskies have never won this Pac-10 crown, and held it by themselves.
Now, this will be a great opportunity because they'll be all fired up for that game against Washington State.
The atmosphere is going to be unbelievable.
Well, you'll be able to feel the electricity.
Here's Powers with a drop step. Thomas will not let go of that ball. He and Broussard tie up. Last Husky team to win an outright title, you got to go back to 1953 when it was the PCC, not the Pac-10. And Hubriggs was leading that crew.
He's the only guy I recognize on that team.
We mentioned earlier they beat a fine LSU team led by Bob Pettit in the tournament. And of course, Hubriggs' number 25 retired. And Brandon Roy's would join right next to him. His retired number just this season. Boy, what a great year it has been for Washington basketball. Wolfinger knifes in. And a foul call.
You can see Hubreg's number hung right up there, number 25. It didn't just cost, what, a week or two ago, they retired Brandon Roy's number.
Yeah.
What an outstanding young man he is. And what?
Joe Wolfinger to the free throw line. With a minute 50 left here in this game, 81-56 for Kent. For Seattle U, it was a chance to play against a team that is rated 16th in the country. And they only had to travel 5 miles by bus. Joe Calero, their head coach, down his 8th year. So we literally will travel anywhere in the country. They were down in Puerto Rico playing the tournament. They were just in North Dakota playing. Over 4,000 miles by air, and he's lost track of where that odometer is on the bus. On the bus miles as well.
This is a good experience for them. You know, the Huskies is an excellent team. And in the first half, or the first 2-3 minutes, it seemed like they were going to be able to hang in there. But the Huskies' maturity, experience, kind of took the game away a little bit at a time. And by the time we got to halftime, you knew what the outcome was going to be.
Start off the back iron, ball volleyed, grabbed by Austin Powers. And ripped away, controlled by Elston Turner. To Wolfinger. Jump steps and walk with the basketball. Seattle University will play that full Division I schedule next season. They would be eligible for an NIT program if they were extended an invitation. Illinois Overton, the scoopy score. A minute left in this one, 85-58. Leading scorer for Washington with 12, Isaiah Thomas. Brockman tonight. And actually, Brockman leading the way in scoring, I beg your pardon, with 16 points and 10 rebounds, his 58th double-double. 41 seconds left in this one. Overton. Knife in, kicks to Turner. Full hold, they'll use clock. Broussard nearly stole it from Suggs. Lorenzo Romer still up off the bench. Still coaching hard, expecting his team to play hard. Artem Wallace takes it to the rim, powered it up and laid it in with 18 seconds left. 87-60.
It's always hard for a coach, you know. You've got to coach the whole game. It's in your blood. You can't help yourself. And it's very hard to sit down no matter who's out there.
Well, that's the most points that Seattle U has given up this season, and it's the Washington Huskies that do it. 87-60. Final score here tonight as Washington goes to 23-7 overall, 17-1 at home. Good seeing you again, Lenny.
All right, great to be here.
And good luck, Washington, in the tournament. For Lenny Wilkens, I'm Kevin Calabro. We say so long from Seattle, Washington. Our final again here tonight. The Huskies 87, the Red Hawks of Seattle University 60.